Alright, what's going on guys, it's Rest, and in today's video I want to look back at the Breath of the Dying. At one point in the game, Breath of the Dying was a super hyped up weapon. It received a buff, and it got everybody's interest, and a lot of people started using it, but then it kind of fell off a little bit. But I wanted to go back and revisit it on Mayhem 10 now to see if it still holds up to what it once was. Now all the gameplay you're going to be seeing is from a pretty generic phase Zerker build. We're going to be running one with an Anoint with an Axe Glen. You get 100% bonus damage. Now this build I'm running actually is pretty good. I'm running a light show to get even more damage right here, like for ball scene or whatever, and a Flesh Melter Victory Rush, which is pretty essential for this build because this is going to let all your corrosive damage kills give you bonus corrosive damage, which is really good. Because if you don't know what the Breath of the Dying does, essentially when you kill an enemy, it's going to proc this Nova like thing that's going to shoot these corrosive bolts out that travel along and do an insane amount of damage. So the reason you're just going to be running this is obviously to buff your corrosive damage, and we also have a Old God to buff corrosive damage, and we're going to be running a grenade throw anoint on our grenade because you want to always use corrosive damage so you can proc this as much as possible, and you always get your victory rush damage bonuses. So that is the build that you see in all the gameplay, and if you're interested in downloading this simple build, it's nothing crazy, let me know in the comments below and I'll post a save file for you guys. So the Breath of the Dying is a legendary assault rifle manufactured by Dahl, and if you would like to fall for it, you're going to need to hit up Blind and Banji on Desolation's Edge, and he will drop it for you. Now like I said in the beginning of the video, the Breath of the Dying was once a very good weapon, and in my testing, it still is. Now, it's not the greatest weapon that you're going to ever see in the game, like it's not as good as some other weapons like the Light Show, but it still puts in work, and it is a very workhorse style weapon. Now saying that, that means it's gonna do a very just solid amount of damage and just do a good amount of work for what it is. Paired with some builds in the game, this gun actually can do a lot of damage, like especially, you know, paired with Ties that Bind, and like in the build I'm using in this video, you can add clear an insane amount. Don't expect to do too much bossing with the Breath of the Dying, but between Ties that Bind and the orbs that spawn from this gun, the add clear is absolutely ridiculous. Now you have to be careful though, because the orbs that do spawn from this weapon actually can kill you, and it happens to me a good amount, so you do need to watch out for that because they do so much damage. But like I said, between Ties that Bind, this gun, the orbs, and even an infusion orb that's flying around the map, you pretty much can kill everything and not have to do pretty much anything. Alone with this gun, no benefits. It does an okay job, but obviously with the right build is going to do a lot better. But we can honestly say that with pretty much any gun in the game, but more so with this one because you really need to run a just pure corrosive build so you can proc the orbs as much. So if you're running any other element, it's going to hinder the legendary effect of this gun, so you cannot proc the orbs as much. So if you're running a radiation flag, you cannot expect to proc the orbs all the time. If you're running just a elemental Lamar where you do all 5 elements, you cannot expect to proc the gun. If you run a cryo Zane, you cannot expect to proc the orbs all the time. You really have to be dedicated to a corrosion build, which is obviously in return in some areas where enemies resist corrosive, you really can't do anything. But in other areas where corrosion is really good, this gun shreds. It is insanely good. It is a weapon that you invest into for a certain activity, and it is going to let you destroy that certain activity, but in other activities, not so much. All around though, Breath of the Dying is still a very good weapon. It is still a very good choice for your legendary slot. It is super fun to play around with. It is super fun to craft up builds with it, and I would definitely recommend trying it out. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know how you guys liked it. If you did, I can make this into a new series. I kind of just want to go back and look at some of the older weapons where they don't get talked about as much anymore and put them in some builds and try them out alone just to see how well they stand up and just give a general review. And also, a lot of the legendary weapons now drop from different locations due to the recent update. So some weapons drop from different enemies now, and some of the older gods need to be updated. If you enjoyed this, like I said, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. You can drop a comment and let me know, because I definitely would love to keep doing these style of videos. My other face puncher video I did extremely well, so I wanted to continue it with this gem of a weapon. But that's going to do it all for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.